Hey folks, welcome back. In this video we're going to go over 5 worked examples to show you how to do problems involving critical angle and total internal reflection. Now if you haven't already done so, check out my previous video covering the theory on this topic, and that way you can apply what you learned in that video to this one. So let's get going. Question 1a says use your data sheet to find the refractive index of diamond. Well, if we jump to the data sheet here, you can see the section on refractive indices, and we can see the refractive index for diamond is 2.42. And remember, there's no units for refractive index. So we can simply write n equals 2.42. Part B says what is meant by the critical angle. Well, remember from the theory video, we can say the critical angle is the angle of instance which produces an angle of refraction of 90 degrees. And lastly, part C says determine the critical angle for diamond. Well, writing down what we know from the question here, we know the theta C is what we're trying to find, the critical angle, and the refractive index n for diamond is 2.42. So that's all the data we need in order to find theta C. So remember the relationship between theta C and n is sin theta C equals 1 over n. Substituting in the n value gives 1 divided by 2.42. So if we then just do 1 divided by 2.42 in your calculator, you should get a value of 0.413 and so on. And keeping those digits in your calculator and then doing the inverse sign or shift sign of that should give you an answer for theta C of 24.4 degrees. Question 2 says a ray of monochromatic light passes into a glass block as shown. So we've got light going into the glass block and then we've got air on this side, and you can see we've got an angle of incidence of 33.5 degrees and an angle of refraction of 90 degrees. The light's just going along this flat edge of the block. And it says calculate the absolute refractive index of the glass for this light. Well, notice how the picture is actually showing us the critical angle here. So remember, the critical angle is the angle of incidence which produces this angle of refraction of 90 degrees. So this must be theta C here, 33.5 degrees. So we can use that to find n. So we're trying to find n here, and we know that theta C is 33.5 degrees. So writing down our equation relating n and theta C, we have sin theta C equals 1 over n. Substituting in the numbers gives sin 33.5 equals 1 over n, and then to get n on its own we can times both sides by n and then divide both sides by sin of 33.5, or we can simply cross multiply and swap the n and the sin 33.5 round, so we get n equals 1 over sin 33.5, and then putting that into your calculator you should get an answer of 1.81, which seems a bit too high for glass, but in terms of these numbers that's what we're getting. Question 3 says the diagram shows the path of a ray of red light as it passes from air into substance X. So there's a red light going from air into substance X, and substance X is unknown, and we're also given lots of angles here, and it says determine the critical angle for the light in substance X. Well, we're given lots of angles for a reason, and it's because we're not told the refractive index here. So first we want to calculate the refractive index of the substance, and then we can use the equation relating critical angle and absolute refractive index to find the critical angle. So we're trying to find n. First of all, we know that theta 1 is 46 degrees and theta 2 is 28 degrees. So looking back at the picture, there's our angle of incidence, our angle in air, theta 1, which is 46 degrees, and our angle of refraction here is 28 degrees, measured between the normal and the refracted ray, and that's in the denser medium, which is unknown here. So we've got theta 1 is 46 degrees and theta 2 is 28 degrees. So writing down our equation relating these, we have n equals sin theta 1 over sin theta 2, substituting in the numbers gives sin 46 over sin 28, and putting that into your calculator should give you an answer of 1.53. And now that we have a value for n, we can determine the critical angle. So we're trying to find theta C, and we know that n is 1.53, so writing down our equation we have sin theta C equals 1 over n, substituting in our n value we have 1 divided by 1.53, and then putting that into your calculator should give you an answer of 0.653 and so on, and then keeping those digits in your calculator and doing inverse sign or shift sign should give you a value for theta C of 40.8 degrees. Question 4 says a ray of light strikes a glass air boundary as shown. So there's our air up the top and our glass down the bottom, and we've got our light going from glass into air at an angle of incidence of 44 degrees. And it says the critical angle for the light at the boundary is 42 degrees. Part A says describe what is meant by total internal reflection. Well, remember from the theory video, we can say total internal reflection occurs when the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle. The light in the medium is completely reflected and cannot escape. Part B says, does the ray of light refract into the air at the boundary or undergo total internal reflection? Justify your answer. Well, if we look back at the picture, we can see the angle of incidence there is 44 degrees, and we're told the critical angle is 42 degrees. So we've just said that total internal reflection will occur when your angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle. So because this angle of incidence 44 degrees is greater than the 42 degrees, we will get total internal reflection inside this glass. It won't be refracted into the air. So we can say it undergoes total internal reflection, and that's because the angle of incidence, which is 44 degrees, is greater than the critical angle angle at 42 degrees. Lastly, question 5 says a ray of red light travels through a 5-sided glass prism as shown below. So there's our 5-sided glass prism, and we've got red light going in from the bottom. Part A says what phenomena is taking place inside the glass prism? Well, we've got some reflection going on at the 3 sides here, here and here, and we can call that total internal reflection. Part B says the refractive index of the glass prism for red light is 1.42. Calculate the critical angle for the red light in the glass prism. So we're trying to find theta c, and we know that n is 1.42, so writing down our equation we have sin theta c equals 1 over n, substituting in our n value gives 1 divided by 1.42, putting that into your calculator should give you an answer for sin theta c of 0.704 and lots of other digits, and then keeping that in your calculator and doing inverse sine or shift sine should give you an answer for theta c of 44.8 degrees. Part C then says, what is the speed of red light in the prism? Well, inside the prism, remember that's our denser medium, so that's V2 we're being asked for, and we were told that refractive index n is 1.42, and the speed of the red light in air V1 is 3 times 10 to the 8 meters per second. So writing down our equation relating n, V1 and V2, we have n equals V1 over V2, substituting in the numbers gives 1.42 equals 3 times 10 to the 8 over V2. And then to get V2 on its own, we can multiply both sides by V2 and then divide both sides by 1.42, or we can simply just cross multiply, which is the same as swapping these two terms. So we can write V2 equals 3 times 10 to the 8 divided by 1.42, and putting that into your calculator should give you an answer for V2 of 2.11 times 10 to the 8 meters per second. Lastly, part D says, why does the light eventually leave the glass prism? Well, we can say that the light eventually leaves since the ray passes along the normal and therefore travels straight through one of the sides. So let's look back at the diagram to see this. So if you look at this side of the prism where the light passes through, you could draw a normal at 90 degrees to this flat surface, and if you did that, it would just be straight along in the middle here. So if our light is passing straight along that normal, remember any time light passes along a normal, it's just going to travel in a straight line. So the light will just keep passing straight through the prism and leave the prism at this point. That's all for this video, folks. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, I really appreciate it. Make ssure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.